Welcome everybody to Enjoy Windows. Today I'm going to be talking about Spartacus, the House of Asher, episode 9. Boy, what an episode. Alright, I'm gonna skip the boring parts so that way I don't bore y'all. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts after I tell y'all what happens. Right? So as you know, first of all, if you didn't see this, click off the video and go watch it. It's on Stars. And by the way, this is not a sponsor. Okay. So as some of you may know, Julius Caesar's back. You know, Julius Caesar's back. And he also brought a guest named Pumpet. I know that's a weird name, Pumpet. So let me show you a picture of the girl that Pumpy is supposed to marry. So I'll be right back. So Pumpy is supposed to be married. Let me show y'all. Hold on. Alright, let me do this the other way. So Pumpy is supposed to marry this girl right here. But the problem is the mom was like, I don't know. The mom was giving her advice, you know. Anyway, long story short, Pumpy is supposed to marry this girl right here, the girl that Ash is in love with. And she kind of don't want to marry Pumpy because Pumpy's an old guy. He could be her grandfather. I'm gonna just leave it at that. The whole idea of a old person marry a young lady, that's not for me, but that's neither here or there. But that was weird. She's young enough to be his granddaughter. And so yeah, I'll be right back. Let me show you the father of the girl. No. So, as you know, this old guy right here. Hold on, let me do the markup. So, as you know, this old guy right here is her father, and he kind of doesn't want Pumpy to marry his daughter, but he had to do it. You know, he has to do it because if he dies, she's without protection. There's nobody to protect her, so he has to do it for for his daughter to be safe. You know, he kind of don't want to do it. Long story short, like I said, if you haven't seen the episode, click off this video because this video is a spoiler video. So, long story short, they Julius Caesar want Asher to kill this guy right here, the old guy. Julius Caesar wants the old guy to kill, Julius Caesar wants Asher to kill the old guy because the old guy was going to go, you know, align himself with Pompey, and Marcus Crassus don't like Pompey. Neither does Julius Caesar. So, long story short, that dude is dead. Because you remember the other episode when Asher took the opium without Asher even knowing what was in that drink that he drank. So long story short, Pompey took opium, right? And let me see if I can find the female gladiator. I'll be back. Oh yeah, before I forget, Asher told the girl, let me do the marker so I can show you what I'm talking about. Asher told his slave to tell the other slave, which is this girl right here, to get the opium without Julius's wife knowing that the opium is missing, right? So they could put it in Pompey's cup. So she says, all right. This girl with the curly red hair, she says, all right. So she asks her former best friend to go do it. To go find the little bottle of opium that's in Julius Caesar's wife possession. So she went to Julius Caesar's wife room and she grabbed the little opium bottle. And meanwhile, while this is going on, there's a contest between the Nubian and the guy who don't like the girl gladiator. I'm gonna show you a picture. Meanwhile, Pompey's at Asher's house, right? They're on the balcony, and Pompey says, I'm gonna say to my words, bring all gladiators together because I want to see what they look like. I want to see what the Nubian could do, right? So, meanwhile, while all this going on, hold on, let me get the marker. Hold on. Bless me. Bless me. Excuse me. Meanwhile, what this is going on? Hold on. These two are going at it. You know, they're not really fighting, but they're arguing back and forth. And, you know, his father's dead thanks to the female other gladiator that look like, Theophilus. You know, long story short, they had a fight. They were arguing. Nothing serious really happened. So, the Dotori went to go get him. He was like, the Dotori was like, Dominus want everybody, you know, outside because they got a guest. And the guest was pumping. So they were outside and pumping wanted to see the female gladiator, what she got to offer, you know, her skills and all that. So, Asher acquiesces, you know, Asher does what pumping wants. So, long story short, they had a contest, right? And I'm not gonna lie, that fighting was off the hook. Granted, she didn't have a sword, she had a staff. And she's nasty with the staff. It was about to be a tie until she flipped that dude over, like, with the staff. Yo. She tried to squash the beef right before they did that. You know how the son is arrogant and shit, you know. Talking his shit like I'm supposed to be the champion of the House of Asher. And, you know, hopefully they squash the beef. Long story short, she won. And long story short, Pumpy wants Asher to bring up the Nubian girl, you know, the female gladiator, to do favors, you know, air quotes, favors, right? So, while this is going on, the girl with the curly hair, she got the opium. So Asher was like, bathe the female gladiator and bring her up. And Asher said, right before you bring her up, I want to see her first. So Asher was talking to the female gladiator. He was like, look, you don't gotta really lay down with the motherfucker. I'm gonna put in my words. He was like, look, you ain't really gotta lay down with the motherfucker. All you gotta do is put opium in the cup and let the opium do the job. Right? And this is going on. The old guy, you know, let me go back to that picture. The girl's father, the old guy, right? So he got a message to go to Asher's house, right? So Asher, you know, the messenger gave the message to the old guy, the girl's father. So he was gonna play, I think, Roman checkers or Roman chess, whatever they used to play back in those days. And the daughter was like, nah, this go wait. Like, go see what Pumpy wants, you know. So he goes. You know, long story, he found Pumpy on the floor with the female gladiator naked. I mean, glizzy and everything. You know, lack of for better term, glizzy and everything. And you know what he said? This marriage is over. This marriage is resolved. You're not marrying my daughter, you fucking cunt. I'm putting in my words. He was like, you're not marrying my daughter, you fucking cunt, you fucking traitor. Long story short, Pumpy is high off of his mind because he drank the opium, right? So Pumpy, long story short, he took out his sword and sliced the dude in the neck. Sliced the old guy in the neck. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. I felt bad for the old dude. Meanwhile, Caesar was like, come on, you gotta go. But Pumpy didn't want to leave. But Caesar was like, come on, man, you gotta go. And Caesar was like, I'm gonna clean up the mess for you. So long story short, Pumpy left and they told Asher, good job without getting your hands dirty. So they left. Caesar and his wife left, right? So the old guy's still alive. No, I'm gonna say my word. The old guy was like, you set me the fuck up. And Asher was like, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, the guy's bleeding out profusely from his chest. And Asher's trying to hold back the blood, from squirting out. So meanwhile, the old guy's trying to grab Asher's neck, to choke Asher. And Asher just put his hand over the guy's mouth, and long story short, he got a snot box wrap, And what made me sad, the daughter is still waiting for him to play like chess, to play a game with the father. And she doesn't know all this is going on. That's sad, man. That's very sad. I feel bad. But, this episode was good. Not a lot of action, but I like it. Sometimes, not that a lot of action is good. Sometimes you just need a story. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, when they went to go meet Pompey and Julius Caesar, they met him, right? And Julius Caesar went back to Asher's villa, right? And right before, when they got into the door, Caesar choked the fuck out of Asher, like, nigga. He was like, I'm putting my words. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, by the way, if Asher did the job, like, to kill the old guy, Marcus Crassus is gonna rebuild the stadium. If you saw season 3, they burned down the arena. There you go, the arena. If you see season 3 of Spartacus, they burned down the arena. And Marcus Krause was like, if you do that job for me, I'll build the arena and you could be in all the games. So Asher was like, I'm gonna put in my word. So Asher was like, I bet. So long story short, he had Pumpy to do all the work. You know, get Pumpy drunk and shit like that. And he did the job. Oh yeah. By the way, next week, I don't know if I'm gonna review the last episode. I don't know, it depends. Probably not. So if you don't see me upload the last episode, that means I didn't watch it. Yo, that episode was fire. I kind of have a crush on the female gladiator. Yo, I think she's... Nah, never mind. Well, folks, it's about that time. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and remember, folks, as always keep going. Have a nice night, and God bless. See you in the next video. Peace. I'm out.